All right, so it's football fever everywhere. Now, on the program, we of course bring you the new reviews and all the new products. But besides that, every now and then we like to also go in depth into certain car makers just to try and figure out what's happening. What can you expect in the future? So we've been talking about different car makers. Today, I want to get into Jaguar. Lots of excitement because Jaguar has announced the new XE, which will compete with the 3 Series and the C-Class. But what's the XE all about? And that aluminum architecture that's been talked about as well. Now, Jaguar is a company that has the expertise to work with aluminium, but we've got a little bit more detail for you. A quaint 11th century castle that's been rebuilt and modified by successive rulers over the many centuries that followed. A great example of technical know-how and construction in the Midlands here in the UK. Even today, the region prides itself on skills like these. Now don't worry, I am at the Kenilworth Castle, but there's no history lesson coming and we're not going to talk about the aluminium architecture in there. Of course, instead we're going to take you across to Whitley. I'm going to drive to the JLR headquarters to get you a little bit of an insight on what's happening with Jaguar and this new architecture. I'm going to drive there, I said, and so it has to be in a Jaguar and a car that already carries a lot of aluminium on board. Want to see it? So ladies and gents, allow me to introduce you to the F-Type Coupe. This is the V6S variant. We're talking about 380 horses that live right under this hood. We're talking about 460 Newton meters of torque. It's an 8-speed gearbox. That V6 engine is calling my name. Let's go. Yes, I could have done worse, way worse. The new F-Type Coupe is the latest car from Jaguar and really highlights the company's present work with aluminium. I had driven the convertible when it first came out, but hadn't driven the coupe still. So this is great quality time I'm getting with the car. And no, I'm not ruining the fact that I didn't have the V8 one bit. Now, like all sports cars, this one too is fun, it's fast, it's fairly furious, sounds good too. So it does all of those things right, but that's not what really stays with you when it comes to the F-Type. I remember when I drove the convertible too saying the same thing. The car just has this great character, it's got its own little personality that almost begs you to keep on driving. Now, how many cars really do that? So while I would love to do that, I also want to get on with the agenda at hand. So I arrived relatively quickly at the Jaguar HQ. The whole company is now focusing on the next production car, already announced as the XE. The compact sedan that is to compete with the BMW 3 Series and Mercedes-Benz C-Class and will take Jaguar into higher volumes. At the R&D and design hub within Jaguar, I met Kevin Stride, the line director for the new XE project. Kevin talked me through what was happening within Jaguar and the need to look towards the new architecture.
That we needed an architecture that not only delivered new products into new segments that we hadn't been in before, but it needed to do it in a way that absolutely protected the DNA of the Jaguar product. And that's key because the entire architecture has actually been configured around delivering the great design that Ian Callum and his team produce, the driving dynamics and refinement, and all of the efficiency that the world expects of us these days.
Jaguar first spoke of this technology direction when it unveiled this, the CX-17 concept crossover that was shown at the 2013 Frankfurt Motor Show, and with it, the new modular and scalable architecture too.
It is an evolution. You wouldn't expect a revolution in something as complex as aluminium construction. It's taken us many years to refine and be world leaders in riveting and bonding technology. Where we take the advanced aluminium architecture is we need to get into more segments, it means more volume, and it means the detail and approach to everything we do, the alloys we use, the rivets and the adhesives we use, they need to be very efficient in to get the manufacturing scale to make sure that the range of products we want to do makes sense from a manufacturing point of view.
The concept got rave reviews, with even some of the purists accepting an SUV direction from the Jaguar nameplate. And while there is pressure to productionize it soon, the immediate focus is undoubtedly the XE, a segment the company needs to address urgently, and the new architecture helps.
It allows our manufacturing base to support the volumes of a product like XE into a premium mainstream market that we haven't really gone into before in the hugely successful products we've got on the rest of Jaguar Land Rover.
While many cars now use increasing amounts of aluminium, the question being asked is why go all aluminium on a car that has to meet benchmarks set by steel-bodied cars like the 3 Series? The advantages are many. Weight reduction means better efficiency. The metal lends itself better to curvaceous shapes than steel, and higher stiffness means better ride and handling and a more dynamic feel. But aluminium has traditionally been seen as expensive and difficult to repair, which didn't matter as much in higher segment cars like the XJ or even the XF, but with the XE, it's a different story.
You know, we're going into some segments here, like with XE, with some fabulous competitors. Customers have a great choice, and they will choose as necessary. So for us, the first thing is the product has got to be right, and the product's got to be right in every attempt we make.
It kind of allows you to remain competitive as well.
Correct.
In the marketplace. What about repairs? Because there has been some anxiety for some of the buyers, and that will probably only increase with a segment like the XE.
Sure.
In terms of the costs of repairing or maintaining aluminium as well.
Okay. We've been doing this for a while now, so we understand how to repair aluminium structures, and it's out there throughout the world. All of our dealership networks know how to do it. Our technology, as a rivet bonded technology, isn't quite as difficult as people may think to make repairs. And a crucial aspect of this architecture, it's been designed from the first day to be very much an efficient car to repair. So you don't go into the segment that the XE is going into without having a car that utterly respects the cost of ownership for all of our customers. And I'm absolutely confident, in fact I already know, that the repairability costs of the advanced aluminium architecture in an XE will be very competitive with anything on the market in steel.
That is good news, isn't it? Jaguar also believes the XE's body will be strong and durable with good crash and safety credentials. The XE will also carry Jaguar's new engine family, Ingenium. That's petrol and diesel engines. Jaguar says it has a plan to make the most of the investment it's making in the new architecture by bringing newer products more quickly into newer segments. While I couldn't get more out of Kevin, you can pretty much expect that crossover now, can't you? The XE will make its global debut in September. Jaguar promises a dynamic, fun and functional car that will also be bloody good looking. And I, for one, can't wait to drive it, especially since I now know what's going into it. Quite literally.